mother told me, she said, you never hit a man where he's weak. Never. It could be true, it could be real, but you don't hit him where he's weak.
Hey, who is this person?
So that's Judge Lynn Toler. I don't know if you remember her from the family court shows.
Oh yes.
Yeah, she checks men and women. She keeps that same energy.
Yep. And when you said that, I remember. I know exactly. Man, that's kind of crazy. You just say their name or what they did, and we know who they are exactly.
Yeah.
Because it'll turn around on you. You can get him to do what you need him to do, but you never hit a man where he's weak because they never forget it. It lives with them. And so I know what his weaknesses are. He don't know I know they're there because I don't mention them, don't talk about them, and I don't, now I talk about my weaknesses all day long, but he,
How do you know? How do you learn about a man's weaknesses?
Well, I done been with the brother. I know where he's weak.
So I bought this up because one of the things I often hear women complain about on the relationship side of things is they want men to open up, be more emotional, more in tune with them, and more honest. And I always respond with, no, you don't. for a lot of reasons, but this is a protection mechanism for a man. We have to be very careful what we say around women, because a lot of us have been through those situations where you could tell someone your deepest, darkest secret, but let a breakup happen or let a really bad argument happen. She gonna air all of that out.
Yeah, with the bodies.
Yeah, she gonna try to crush your feelings, and a lot of men know this. And they just opt to keep certain things to themselves.
Yeah.
I like the wisdom that she shows, though. That's great advice. And I hope to every woman who hears that, and shout out to Harley Initiated for that, sharing that interview with the world. But she's absolutely right. Some of the accountability that comes with the woman loving you is her protecting your secrets and keeping you safe. But a lot of women don't realize that. And men know that too. So they keep a lot of stuff to themselves.
Yeah. So she is, I understand her point where she says you don't let them know that you know. But to me, that's how we get into these divorces where the man didn't know anything. Like the crazy thing is, men are just usually the last ones to know about divorce is about to go down. And if she knows whatever she knows, that's going to be used and weaponized against you. And showing like any type of emotion, that's going to, you might as well wrap it up though, because she's gonna be looking at you with a side eye going forward. Or go ahead and cry in front of your woman. Like if you're not at a funeral or something related to your kid, I think is probably the accepted situations. Or you're just happy because of championship or something. Outside of that, you just having like a bad day or something. Yeah, good luck, buddy. You might as well start packing them bags.
She also kind of indirectly hinted, and I try to tell women this, but for the love of me, I can't get them to understand this. If you're a woman who submits to your man, you can get him to do almost anything you want him to do if you fully submit to him. Like, I don't know why women don't understand this. Like, try it. Submit to his leadership. And if you want like a vacation out of him or something, I promise you, if he's a good man and he's convinced that you are fully submitting to him and yielding to his leadership and letting him lead the house, he's going to take you on that trip.
Yeah.
I just wish they would understand that. Tap into being a woman and what that really means. And you think Obama wasn't making decisions in the White House without getting some input from Michelle? And even with some of the things that Trump wanted to do for kids in America when he was in office, he'll tell you that Melania put some of that stuff in him. Like, tap into your feminine power, man. You're gonna get the stuff that you want from him. Don't be masculine all the damn time.
Yeah. I have a daughter. We both have daughters, and the femininity. And my daughter's way older. She's 17, going on. You think she's 24, 25 or something. And when it comes to like, and I've tried to have this conversation with her, and for the fathers out there, and especially if you're not with the mother, try to have that conversation as early as possible though, because she doesn't really understand the power of her femininity. And I think women, they kind of miss that education thing, for at least if they don't understand it and they're a teenager, they won't understand it until they're like in their 40s or something. Like it just goes by them and they don't realize like, man, you could have the world. Like any guy, like a guy is gonna, when people arguing or whatever, usually with a calm voice that kind of calms things down. And so, femininity is definitely your power that will, stop, two men from fighting and like, hey, you know what, let's talk this out and everything. Um, you know, rather than resorting to fisticuffs. So yeah, when it comes to femininity and also what she's saying though, she's definitely giving some good advice. I don't know what the comments said on what she was saying. I don't think they shouldn't be egregious though, but sometimes people,
I suspect they will be. I think the women is probably gonna come for her.
you know what?
Not gonna lie.
Let me take a look real quick if you want to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, there might. My guess is it's going to be a lot of okay. I can see that from the men, but I think a lot of women gonna be like, nah, they don't deserve that. That's my guess. It's gonna be
But
hard to tell if the person commenting is a man or well, because some of the men are real feminine in their comments anyway.
sure.
But I'm curious to see how those comments are going in that conversation.
Yeah. And from what I can tell, it appears to be pretty positive. I'm just doing a quick
A
you know,
positive video on YouTube, okay, it happens
well,
sometimes.
to be fair, it is a black woman who is saying some nice things like that. And crazy thing is, with a lot of black women, you have that femininity thing behind you. You're going to be able to people want to listen to black women, and people want to listen to black women, especially in politics. People want to listen to black women when it comes to like just hearing about just regular life stuff going on. The problem is that depending on what the message or how it's being delivered, like I know a lot of people that love Jasmine Crockett, and there's a bunch of people that do not like Jasmine Crockett because of how she delivers her message. But when it comes to Judge Lynn Toler, I mean, I can't see, like I said, I didn't see anybody have a negative comment about her, and she delivered that message. And I know some people are going to be like, well, we shouldn't have to, we should be able to do this, do that. Look, do you want to win? Like, if you want to win, then she's giving you the blueprint on how to win, or she's giving you some stuff there on how to win. But obviously, you definitely need to put a little bit more work. Something I wonder, I wish they would bring back is what is it called, finishing school, or when you send the daughter to, or maybe it's called battalion. I don't know. It's one of those.
Yeah, yeah, you're talking about like the cotillion type stuff,
Yeah.
or debutante balls and things like that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, they used to have etiquette and stuff like that, but man, Gen Z and Gen Alpha are cooked. If you ever watch the Social Experiment on Netflix, you'll just see. And then there's also a video. I'm going to bring it in one day. It's a bunch of Gen Z women complaining about how awkward the men are and how awkward they are.
Hey,
Like,
she's talking about liberal men.
man, from what I'm seeing and talking to some of my younger cousins, these ninjas ain't approaching nobody. They rather just stay on their Xbox. They rather just fall in love with somebody on a porn site.
Yeesh.
It's hard out here right now, from what I'm hearing. So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Men definitely need to they need some type of training as well too, which they do have the men out there, but you know how it is, just telling men about how they need to approach life and how they need to approach women and stuff like that. So um the information's out there. It's just that people don't want to listen, or they're at different points in their life. I mean, maybe you could tell me this maybe 10 years ago. I don't know, about 15 years ago. So it's hard to say.
Man, I'll tell you what changed my whole trajectory as a man was it wasn't even therapy. It was, and I've gone to therapy, but having the proper mentors was clutch. You
Sure.
know, if you ain't got a solid relationship with your pops, you need to find you a solid mentor, like a
Mhm.
solid male mentor that's going to teach you the game on how to stand up and lead and what that looks like. And but you can't do it by yourself. You're gonna need somebody who's played the game before, can give you some insights that you can't come to by yourself. So I think that's gonna be just as valuable. And it sounds to me, if I had to guess, going back to the judge here, I'm going to assume she grew up in a two-parent home, because she definitely don't sound like somebody who's all about herself. She sounds like somebody who's prepared to put the family before everything else. And that's essentially what anybody wants in a partner.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unfortunate. Okay. She was actually married. Her husband just died. Dang.
Yeah, but they were married for a very long time.
Yeah, 89. Wow.
Yeah.
Which,
Because I've heard interviews with them before. They met really, really young, and they was like, "Yep, we've been together. We've been happy. We chilling." Yeah.
yeah, fun fact. She actually was a Republican until 2016, which whatever. And then she became an independent. That's wild.
That makes sense too. Honestly.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's unfortunate, but I'm glad she she was able to give us some good advice though. And she's had a very resourceful or actually successful career, especially making the jump from being a judge to being a TV judge as well. So it's good for
No
her.
doubt. Yeah, good for her.
All right. Let's get to the last topic.